Hello everyone, my name is Baccarat James and I'm here to show you my 1-2 knockout system where you're going to say, what the heck, this really works. But does it work all the time forever? Well, you're going to find out. Over the years, I've been testing many systems. I've been in the casino business for over 30 years, so I probably watched more Baccarat and tested and played more Baccarat than 99.9% of the people on this planet. But hey, don't take my word. Watch what I do, and I'm going to show you how you can win. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and tell you that this is a be-all to end-all, because you most certainly can lose your ass. Okay? Keep that in mind that, hey, this game was not built for people to kick the shit out of the casinos, but what you're going to see is my attempt to do just that. Lose 20 in a row today, 30 in a row tomorrow. You just never know when that's going to happen. But with my money management, I mitigate the losses, and it's a slow and steady wins the race type system, and I'm going to get into it right now. So you're going to learn a lot, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, or there will be a contact in the description below. My email is baccaratbeast@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at me. Feel free to reach out to me, because I will be playing live a lot, and I'm going to try and live stream too if the casino doesn't bust me. So I'll show you that too, the live stream. But I'm not allowed, repeat, not allowed to show you my live play online in Nevada, because let's face it, Nevada has rules. They want to keep the brick and mortars, away from as much competition as possible. So I understand why they don't allow people to play online and kind of like ruin their business, right? It doesn't make any sense in Nevada. And I am still here in Nevada. I'm retiring in like a week, and by the time this video actually hits, I will be retired. So let's get into it. I'll show you as much as possible. I'm not going to hold your hand. If you don't know how to play Baccarat, well, then learn it first. But I will explain the system and the money management as I go along. This way, you might be able to see, how I'm doing it and why it's working right now. And I'll also explain how the bottom can fall right out. You're going to see that. So let's get started. We're going to use the 1,000 shoes from the Shoes for Virtual Bet, and we're going to get this going. So if you want to learn how to win for free, why am I doing it for free? Because I'm looking for sponsors. I don't want to sell this system to anybody. If people want to come out and play with me, well, then we can make some type of arrangement, but nothing is guaranteed in this game. Nothing, absolutely nothing. So let's get into the first episode of the 1-2 knockout system. And like I say, feel free to tell me what you think. And remember, this is not or never is financial or gambling advice. Okay, let's get started. All right, here we have the tracking sheet, the 1-2 knockout system tracking sheet. And as you'll see, the starting units are 100. That could be whatever you want, dollars, $10, $1,000, but we're not playing for real money here. So our highest plateau starts at 100. Our win-loss tracking, we keep track of our wins and losses. And you're going to see at the end how the tracking sheet, what I've tracked. I'm going to explain it as we go along, but like I say, I'm not going to hold your hand. So the juice will mark up every unit that was won on the bank. Okay, so say we bet 1 unit and it wins on the bank, we'll add that to the juice. And of course, we won't add it if there's a loss or a player bet, win or lose. So we'll add that juice up, and when we get to 20 units, that's the equivalent of 1 unit from our starting units. Okay, so if we get to 20, well, then we have to take 1 off our highest plateau. But I'll leave a running total on there because it's easier. And at the end of the shoe, I'll show you how much juice I think was bet. So let's get into it. This is episode 1, Shoot for Virtual Bet 1. Alrighty then, let's get going. Okay, we're going to get into the first shoe now. I'm going to press play. We're going to go through the whole shoe, and I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to tell you what you should be doing hand by hand. Okay, I've got it on double speed. First hand is a player. So what we do, we bet the player. On the first hand of the shoe, we bet that it's going to run vertically, and you'll see that we make many, many more horizontal bets. And the reason to my madness, now I'm looking for my pen, it's right in front of me. So we bet the player here, right? Now remember your tracking sheet, highest plateau is 100 units, and they could be whatever you want, tiddlywinks, for all that matters. So we bet the run, okay? When we first start out, we bet the vertical run, and we lose. Okay, so mark down a -1 on your tracking sheet, your win-loss, -1, okay? And I'll tell you the juice and everything, and I'll show you at the end what my tracking sheet looks like and what yours should look like. And if it doesn't, well, maybe you can go back and take a look. So we continue with the chop. We bet first row only now. We're betting the player, all right? We bet the player, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah, these shoes take quite a bit of time, and don't mind my face and my voice won't match up because it's kind of like my computer's too slow. So we lose that one. That's a -1. So in your tracking, you should be showing -1, -1. So here we want to go to the highest run one time, and then it's got to go over that. So we'll bet the bank here, all right? And you're going to see why we don't bet after it starts to run a certain amount of times, because you just can't guess at it. It's just too much. And you want to slow down anyway. You don't want to bet every bet. You just don't want to do that, because now you're guessing, and that's how you get slaughtered, in my opinion anyway. So we're -1, -1. We bet the bank here, 1 unit, see what happens. And we don't get greedy with this system. Do not get greedy, because you'll see why. We're going to get hammered eventually. So we win that one. So we X out one of the -1s, and our juice is at 1 now. So we continue betting the bank, see what happens, and we win again. So our juice is at 2 now, and our highest plateau is still at 100. So we bet the bank again, and that's a tie. Bet the bank again. Keep on betting the bank until it stops, okay? And you'll see how many it goes, and then you'll see why we stop betting the vertical run. All right, so that wins. It's one more on the juice, and now our highest plateau is 101, 101. We bet the bank again, and we lose. So we got a -1 on our tracking sheet, right? Our juice is at 3. We bet the player here. Why the player? Because there is no singleton gap. It wins, all right? So we keep on betting the run when it's on row 1. We don't bet anymore. We stop here. Wait until it gets to at least 6 banks, and then we continue. But if it doesn't, stop. Don't bet this vertical run. That's what destroys you, but you can do it to try and catch up, and you're going to see that later on. So if it goes 2 more players, then we'll start to bet the player. If not, then don't bet it. Just sit out. Sit out. There's no harm in sitting out. So it goes to bank. We bet the run, okay, because of the gaps, and I'll explain them as we go along. We bet the bank, and we lose. So that's a -1 on your tracking sheet, right? -1 there. And we bet the bank here because of there's only been the 1 gap, and that wins. So we X that out on our tracking sheet, and our juice is now up to 5. We bet the player here, bet the player, continue with the chop, and we lose. So we got a -1 on our tracking sheet again, -1. So we sit out until it goes to 6 banks, then we will get back in, but we'll see if that happens. So you don't want to keep betting those vertical runs because you're just guessing, and that's what really killed me. And this is, you'll see why the money management seems to work with this. Betting the same patterns, doing the same things over and over, no guessing, no guesswork, just try and do what I'm suggesting because right now it's working. So it hops the player, we bet the player. Why? Because there's been no singleton gap, no single gap. We bet the player, we lose. Okay, let's pause it here for the cause. Pause for the cause. So your tracking sheet should look like a -1, -1. Your highest plateau is 101. We started with 100 units. And your juice should be saying 4 units. So now that chopped, we bet the chop again because there is no double. When there's a double, then we'll switch to the run. Okay, I'm probably not explaining that very well, but you're going to get the gist of it. If you pay attention, you'll get the gist of it eventually. So feel free to ask questions. So we bet the chop here, right? We bet the player, so there is no juice, and see what happens. Just let it run out, and we lose there. So we put a -1 in your tracking. So we got -1, -1, right? Wait for it to come to player. Now we bet the bank. We're going to give the chop at least 2 tries because of the singleton gap. We lost the first one with those double banks. We'll give it one more time. We'll bet the bank, see what happens, and it wins. So you circle that last one. We mark one up on the juice, right? So your juice is up to 5 now, and we're betting the player, and we lose. But we have bet 2 units there. What did we bet 2 units? Okay, I forgot to tell you. We go up on a win, right? Only if we won the last one. And so we did win that last one, and there were 2 remaining in the tracking sheet. So we bet the 2 and we lost. So your tracking sheet should look like -1, -1, -2 now. Okay, your juice is 5. Juice is 5. And your highest plateau is still 101. So we wait to go back to player, then we'll be betting. We go back down on loss. Okay, so have we been betting 5 units? That's about the max we'd be betting. We lose, we go down to 4. We lose, we go down to 3, 2, 1 until we win. And then we go back up, just like a piano. All right. So it's all in rhythm here. We wait for the player, then we'll bet the bank 1 unit on the chop because we lost our 2 unit bet. And you're going to see, like, it's all going to come to, there's going to be a light bulb in your head like it was in mine. It's like, oh my, this can really work. It really can work. Okay, so it goes to player, bet the bank. All right, le bank, as they say en français. Le banqueur? I don't know. All right, so we bet the bank and that wins. Pause for the cause. What you do is you circle one of the -1s. Okay, remember that we won, so we're going to go up. We're going to be betting 2 units because we're still down -3 on our tracking sheet, even though we have 101 on our highest plateau. So that one unit, right? So our juice, add 1 to that. So there's 6 units on the juice, and you're going to see what we do with the juice. I can't keep track every bet because it's just ridiculous and time consuming. So we bet the chop again, right? Now we're betting 2 units on the chop. We bet 2 units on the player. We go up on the loss, right? And if we win this one, we only have the -1 on our tracking sheet. So player 5, 7, whoa, we snuck that one out. So we circle that 2, get rid of it, whatever you want to do. There's no juice there. So now we're only -1 on our tracking sheet. Don't get greedy. Don't try and get ahead, right? Try to get back to your highest plateau, which is 101. That's what we do first, and that's what could kill you. If you try to get greedy and bet 2 units here and go 1 above, don't do it. Because in actuality, I want to be betting $100 units, $1,000 units, and why take the risk, right? So we're going to be betting 1 unit on the bank here, see what happens. And if it wins, it's a juicer. Nothing, 7. Okay, bank wins there. So we circle that 1, get rid of it, put 1 on the juice. Okay, so now we're back to square 1. Bet player on the chop, and that loses. So we're -1 on our tracking sheet. Wait for it to come back to player, and then we'll bet the chop again. We've got to give it 2 tries because they're singleton gap. That's just my story, and it seems to be working. These patterns come and go. These patterns often repeat themselves. So, you know, the good and the bad. And the money management is what will get us out. So hopefully this will work, and we'll go from there. So we wait, it goes back to player. We bet, what do we bet? 1 unit only. 1 unit only on the bank, and your slate should be cleared. Your slate, your tracking sheet, I mean, should have a -1 in it, sorry. So we did bet the chop, that one. So your tracking sheet should be nothing. Your juice should be 8 units, and we continue betting the chop. Player, we lose there. Your tracking sheet, -1, right? Your highest plateau is 101. We sit out, wait for it to go back to player, and go from there. And like I say, my face is like Godzilla. It doesn't match my movements because of the fact that it's too slow. My computer doesn't record 100% this one. So we bet the chop here. We bet 1 unit on the bank, 1 unit on the bank, and we win. So we X that out, nothing on your tracking sheet, and your juice is up to 9. We bet 1 unit on the player here, and that wins. So no juice, but your highest plateau is now 102. Get it? Got it? Good. That goes up to 102. Bet 1 unit on the bank. We lose. You got -1 on your tracking sheet for the juice, or for the win-loss. and then we wait till it comes back to bank or runs like 6 players, which it did not do. We bet the chop again, bet 1 unit on the player. Okay, 1 unit on the player. Looks like, oh no, it got snaked. So we should have a -1 and a -1 there. Now we switch to the run. So when it goes to player, because of the double, right? We'll switch to the run when it goes back to player and see what happens. Unless there are more than 6 banks, then we'll jump out on that bank wagon. Jump on the bank wagon, not the bandwagon. Funny, huh? Not. All right. So I'm being serious here. I'm trying to teach you guys how to beat the frickin' casino. And if you want to come play, the description, my email is in there. We can set something up. We can meet at the casino and I could show you live. Although I'm not doing that for free. Come on, guys. I will have to have some skin in the game. But that's, hey, that's up to you if you want to. 50-50 split on the wins. No split on the losses. But I'll show you the ropes. 1-on-1. You can't beat it. So, one more bank and we'll get back in, guys. One more bank. One more bank. And these guys that are selling the systems, I used to be a system seller, but eventually the bottom does drop out on everything, but it has not dropped out on this yet. So we bet the player. What are we betting? 1 unit on the player. And that one, circle it, exit out, whatever. So now we only have a -1 on your win-loss, right? So we sit out, wait for it to come back to bank, comes back to bank right away. We bet the bank 1 unit, 1 unit only. So coffee time, always coffee time. We lose there. Hang on a second, guys. I gotta pause for that cause. That unknown coffee is really good. Okay. So we bet the bank and we lost. So you should have a -1 and a -1 on your tracking sheet. And now we're going to go to the chop. Why? Because there is no singleton gap in between. The singleton gap in between is the indicator. Okay? The double solid, double chop, that's the indicator to switch back when we have the 2 losses. All right. Get my balding head situated. Here we bet the bank, right? Here we bet the bank because there has been no singleton gap. And we bet the bank and we win. So what? So we exit out one of the ones on our tracking sheet, right? And we add 1 to the juice. The juice is now up to 10. And we continue with the chop. Bet the player. Bet the player here. 1 unit. 9 looks good. Okay, so we have nothing on our tracking sheet. It should be zeroed out. We bet the bank here. 10 on the juice. Bet the bank, and that's a tie. Bet the bank again. Bet the bank again. So I'm going to be trying to come out with these every couple of days if I can, because since I'm gliding into retirement. So we win that one. Mark up the juice. We bet the player, and our highest plateau is 103 now. Woohoo! We bet the player. We got a -1 on your tracking sheet. So be it. And when it comes back to player, because there is no single gap, we will be betting the player. And you'll understand the single gaps and the double solids as we go along, right? It's just my patterns. So easy to remember. You come back, you can come in any shoe you want and say, okay, now this will be a double, single, whatever, right? So we bet the player here and we lose. And we should have a -1 and a -1. So now we give the chop. Okay, this is the concept here. Because of that single gap in column 55, right? That is your indicator because the next one was followed by a chop. Now we give it 2 tries for the chop, guys. So we're betting the player here for at least 2 losses. Not the player itself, but if it runs, then it comes back to player. We'll be betting the bank. But if it chops, then we'll bet the bank anyway. So let's see what happens. We are betting the player here. We don't bet the run. Player got sniped. Oh, no. Player lucked. Did player luck out? Yeah, player lucked out. So we circle one of the ones on your tracking sheet, exit out, right? And we only have the -1 on there. Now we're betting 1 unit on the bank. And if I screw up the juice, just say, hey, you screwed up the juice. Big whoop. But right now we have 11 on the juice and we're betting 1 unit on the bank. That's a tie. And yeah, I know this is clear as mud. So actually, my middle name is Mud. That's my sisters say, because it's clay. All right. Yeah, you might have known me as Baccarat Beast or Baccarat Bunny before. This is a real me. I'm coming out because I'm retired, and I don't really care if I get any flack from my former employer, because after all, it is my former employer. I was actually a little worried that they would be saying, because I was playing live, that I was breaking the company rules. Well, maybe I was, because you're not allowed to play live in Nevada, because they, like I said before, they don't want you taken away from the brick and mortars, and I can see that, but I was only betting dollars. So we lose there. So it should be -1, -1, -1. Okay, and your tracking sheet, sit and wait. Sit and wait. And we do go up on a win now because we have more than 2 losses. So we will go up on a win when we eventually win. So wait for it to come to bank, and then we bet 1 unit on the player, because we'll be betting the chop for at least 2 tries unless it solidifies. So here we bet the player, right? Here we bet the player. And I've got it on double speed, but okay, try to make this as fast as possible without losing too much continuity. We lose there, so we got a -1, -1, -1, -1, -4 there, right? -4. Just wait. Just wait. Our highest plateau is 103, so we're actually down 1 unit minus the juice. But this is how we keep track to build it up past the highest plateau. So this pillow is a little uncomfortable. I got others. My Vegas Gold Knights one. Yeah. Go Knights, go. The Knights are starting to come back here. All right. We bet 1 unit on the player. 1 unit on the player, and player loses. So we got -1, -1, -1, -1, -1, -5 there on your shit. And we bet the player here. We lose here. That's -6. Remember, -10. We get the heck out of Dodge. That's -6. So let it run. Let it go. Just let it go. You'll see it comes back. Or if you lose 10, we're done for the day. Right? A net 10. Oy vey, this is a lot of work, but hey, who said it was? Nobody said it was going to be easy, and I'm doing it all for you. Like I say, I'm trying to get comfortable here. I'm trying to get sponsors. What I'm trying to do to make this all free for everyone. And if a casino thinks, you know, like, hey, come on in and try James's system, the Baccarat One Two, invite them in. Come on, I'll come with you. All right, there's the 6. We're going to bet bank here, 1 unit. See what happens. Yay, we win. Circle it. Now we're betting 2 units. Your juice is up to 12. We're betting 2 units. So we got 2 units on the bank. Whoa, we win that. Circle that twice, right? 2 units on the juice, and we're betting 2 again. Why are we not betting 3? Because we go to the left, and we see what that number is. It's 1, so we only go up 1 from that. All right? So we're only betting 2. Don't get smart, because you're going to get slaughtered. So we lose there, 2 units. So your tracking sheet should show -1, -1, -1, -2. Now here, oh, I got to stop it before it shows. Stop. So here we would be betting the player. We bet the run. Okay, even though we can see that it looks like it's going to win, it might not, but we bet 2 units and lost the last time. So now we go back down to 1, and it looks like we're going to win. Last card for the bank, and we did. Okay, so mark that up, 1 unit. X out one of those ones. So your tracking sheet should show -1, -1, -2. Now remember, we win, so we go up the 1 unit. When it goes back to bank, we'll be betting 2 units. Don't forget that. I circle it. I put it on the far right, the one on the far right, no matter what, to make me realize, hey, I got to go up here. Okay, that's how I do it. So when it goes back to bank, what are we going to bet? The bank. 2 units, right? 2 units. Remember our highest plateau. And it stays at player, wait for the bank. And you're going to see in future shoes how this carries on, right? You're going to see everything. I'm not hiding anything, but I also can't sit around and wait for you guys. You have to, you know, do a little learning, ask some questions, right? If you don't understand, ask questions or email me at baccaratbeast@gmail.com. I don't read it much, but hey. Okay, looks like the shoe is over. We'll pause it there. All right, that went to bank. It doesn't matter. So the shoe is over, and I will show you what we have on the tracking sheet, okay? Right now we'll hop to the tracking sheet. This is what it should say. Let's do this. Where is the tracking sheet? There it is. Okay, so we started with 100 units, and as I said, our highest plateau is 103, correct? Okay, our win-loss tracking. Now, I didn't mark it down on here for every bet because it's quite redundant coming back to the sheet. So I did mark it down on a regular sheet. You can see it here. There's the sheet. So I'll just transfer what I have on there to here. Okay. So we're showing a -1, right? That's how your sheet should look. -1, -2. Now remember, we had won that last bet. So next shoe, next bet, because we won the last, next bet is 2 units. Okay, the juice looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we get to 20 on the juice, we have to take one off our highest plateau. But I'm going to let it run. So if we had 100 on the juice, that'd be 5 units off. So why bother doing that every time, right? I will do it. I'll explain it. Everything's on the up and up here, guys. So hopefully give me a thumbs up. Tell your friends, like, hey, this system, trust me. I mean, as far as I know, it does work. I'm playing live. If you want to join me live, I hope to do live streams as well. Just let me know. Thank you so much for watching. And Baccarat James, over and out. Have a great day, guys. Thank you.